Welcome back to Wandering Through Wayne's World. With me is Sean John from the Alliance.
Yes.
And you were in, we had spoken, so we're just kind of redoing an interview. And we're talking about something that's really kind of important, and that would be life insurance.
Yes, life insurance.
People take better care of their car, their TV, they're more prepared than if, God forbid, they died.
Yeah, that's true.
What does it take to get a life insurance policy? I mean, is it difficult? Is there a lot to it? Is there a lot of medical exams? I mean, is there a lot to it?
So one thing I love about, this industry is that we have many different products.
Okay.
So, we have some products that do require medical exam, and we also have some, if you have any type of health issue, we have some products that still will approve you.
Okay. What I believed was that you can get a 10,000 or 25,000 or even a 50,000 with no questions asked and whatever. It's when you start getting to 100 and above.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the highest you can go without going for medical exams and all that other stuff?
The highest you go, this one particular carrier is called Foresters.
Okay.
The highest you go, you get up to $400,000 in death benefits.
Wow.
Yes.
And is that whole or term?
Term life.
Okay, let's talk about the difference. What is term life?
Term life is a temporary thing. It's like you get, let's say, the most you get is up to 30 years of insurance for 30 years. Whole life is something you get for the rest of your life.
Okay, so really whole life isn't like kind of more like in a bank account, like kind of like a savings account as compared to a term life policy? Does whole life build value?
Exactly, yes. One thing I love about whole life, over the years, over the years, it starts to build cash value. So let's say, 30 years from now, you are in some type of financial crisis, you can take out, let's say you might have $5,000 in cash value, you can take it out and, do whatever you have to do with it. So it's like your own, it's like a loan, but it's a loan to yourself, Can you do a whole life policy if you're ill, if you had an illness in the past? Can you still do whole life? Yes. Without big medical exams and stuff? Yeah, so let's say some question was asked within the last 2 years. So let's say you had cancer 5 years ago. And the question will say within the last 2 years that you had cancer. You'll put no. So with that, you can still get approved because, what you had was 5 years ago. So it all depends on what the questions ask.
Okay, so now my question is, who's more expensive, a 50-year-old woman or a 50-year-old man?
That's a great question. It really depends. For example, let's say, a male, he smokes, and a female, she doesn't. So for her, it'll be cheaper. It really depends on the situation.
On the lifestyles.
Yeah, on the lifestyles.
So I'm going to guess that a non-smoker, a non-drinker are going to have the lowest rates.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And is there breaking points in age where, if you're 20, you're going to pay one price. If you're 40, you're going to pay another price. If you're 60, you're going to pay more. Yes,
it all depends on your age, because life insurance is all based on, how long you're going to live or how short you're going to live. You know what I'm saying? So for us, like, if you're in your 20s, like me, I'm 23 years old. I just bought myself a $500,000 policy for only $32.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because...
A month.
Yes,
a month.
With living benefits,
Okay, so my question becomes, what would it take to get you to write me as your beneficiary so that I can have you taken out? Because a $500,000 would go really far.
Yeah.
But, it's interesting because funeral costs are so skyrocketing.
Yes.
And then what about if you own a house? Because they sell a thing called homeowners insurance, where if you die, the house is paid off. But that is, in my eyes, has no value. Yeah. Because you could take a life insurance policy and know, if 15 years down the road you pass and you have your homeowners policy that the house will get paid off, well, you might have paid off half of the house already.
Yeah,
okay?
Sure.
Whereas your life policy is exactly what it is. You know where you're going with it. What's the biggest policy that you've seen taken out?
Like somebody bought?
Yeah.
I seen somebody bought themselves It was $10 million.
Wow.
$10 million policy.
Wow, that's a big policy.
Yes.
So, working for Alliance, I guess if you were to make that deal, I guess the commissions would be pretty good on something like that, huh?
Yeah, the commission would be pretty good.
What's an average? What does most people buy? Like I have $125,000. What do most people buy?
Between $250,000 and $300,000.
As a normal thing.
Yeah.
Because that would cover your burial expenses.
Yes.
Probably cover paying off your house.
Your house.
And give them some extra cash.
Yes,
to get on their feet.
Yes, exactly. Most people actually do it because when they die, they want to make sure that their wife and kids have financial freedom because, you know, the way everything is in this world society is getting more expensive. So people are more worried about if they die, will my wife and kids be taken care of? So that's why they get themselves a huge policy. So they make sure that their family are well protected.
You know, it's interesting. You use the word huge policy, but really, $200,000, $300,000 today is not a lot of money like it used to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, if people want to find you, how do they get in touch with you? You have contact information, email, website?
Oh yes,
whatever.
yes. If you want to reach out to me personally to get more information of life insurance, my phone number would be 772-924-6766. 772-924-6766. And I also have a website. If you want to, quote yourself or see the different products we offer, it'll be SeanGeneFinancial.com.
And you'll be able to read it on the screen, guys.
Yes.
All right, we're going to go, but we're going to come back with John and talk about, just take a couple of minutes and talk about medical insurance. We'll be right back.
All right.